Welcome back, dweebs, to another episode of the Weekly Dweeb. With me, as always, is my good friend Kev. Kev, it's the Monday before your vacation. How you feeling, bud?
Whoo, big Monday, gang. Yeah, it's always a fun time. Anybody who has a job at all, really, I would say probably. But for me, in my little 9-to-5 world, when you got 2 days of a whole week to prepare for all the time you'll be away, and so you're trying to essentially do at least only 4 days worth of work this week since we have the holiday on Friday. It's been a hectic one, man. The only luck I've run into is with the 4th being on a Friday. A lot of people just stopped working last Friday, so there are a ton of people
They're just
that are already
taking the whole
gone.
week. We're done, toast, calling it a wash.
So it's safe to say a few of tonight's topics may just take me by surprise because I have not been I haven't had a lot of time to kill the last couple of days. It's been a really fun weekend, though. Had a good Carnage Fight Series show, and then Danny and I had a bonus stream last night, so check that out if you missed it live.
Oh, I saw that. I saw you guys posted one. I saw that.
Oh, almost 3 hours of a bonus stream. So how about you, James? How are you setting up on this Monday?
I am good. I got to reach out to Danny because I'm halfway through Act 2, I think, for Claire Obscure. I'm making my way. I'm closing in on about 20 hours. I think the game's 30 hours long, so it is something. That game is fucking wild. Go play it, everybody. It's awesome.
Hopefully,
Headbug, what is up?
Long. Hello.
What up? First topic. Maybe it'll resonate with Headbug. Maybe not. She's not a sports person. But the international markets have spoken. F1, massive haul, mainly overseas, though. Won the box office in America with a worldwide total of 146.3 million. As Headbug says, ew sports. This is it's an Apple original film. It won the box office in the United States with 57 million. Overseas, though, in 78 markets, 89.3 million. It's the biggest opening weekend of Brad Pitt's career. I think it's combined. I don't think it's just domestic because that wouldn't make sense to me. But I think it's of his career, and it's the biggest opening of an original movie in like 20 years.
Wow. Well, hey, there you go.
Mr.
worth something, isn't it?
Yeah, Mr. Brad Pitt, congratulations. F1 dominates the worldwide box office. Kev, do you know anything about it? Have you seen it? Are you going to see it?
Well, I do know a little bit about Formula One as the son of a European. One of the things that my mom would kind of joke about back in the day, growing up in southern rural Indiana, as I did, a lot of NASCAR fans. My mom, not one of them, James. You know why? Because she's not a huge fan of just the oval circular driving. She's like, that's not the cool stuff. The cool stuff is the Formula One where they go on the Grand Prix and you see them out in Monte Carlo taking these crazy turns at all these incredible angles. They'll be driving through actual cities on these little personalized death machines. You know, you're basically a little tube with wheels on the outside going 200 miles per hour. Don't even have like even your head's exposed. Like you got to wear a helmet to keep the bugs out of your mouth. It's an intense sport. So
kill you.
Yeah, they'll get in your eye and it'll be over. But I know it's got a much bigger following,
as Headbug says,
Europe. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So I'm not surprised to see it do so much better internationally. what I hope from this is that it'll send the right messages to studios and the people whose only job out of all this, their sole concern is how to turn a profit. Because until those dummies get wise to the fact that we are currently in, I guess, for a lack of a better term, a creative recession out here, not necessarily due to the fault of the creatives, but because of what projects will get greenlit, what kind of projects will get money put into them. We need more original stories. It's probably been since like the 70s since film has needed just a good run as an industry. Like we are in a very similar situation now as they were then. And so to see, as you mentioned, the biggest release of an original concept, even though it is just a sports movie, I also think that speaks volumes for it as well. I feel like that's more in its favor because those usually don't do well, James. Like you don't get a lot of casual fans to watch a sports movie unless it's some icon like Muhammad Ali or something. Most of the time, you got to be a fan. Like non-basketball fans aren't watching Hoosiers. You know what I'm saying? But
Correct.
So people are apparently watching this. So there's a lot of good to take away from this, James. I will, before I switch it over to you, say one last thing. I just am shocked to find out that World War Z was not Brad Pitt's best debuting movie.
Yeah, I think it's got to be worldwide, not just domestic. Like World War Z was big. There's a bunch of big Brad Pitt movies. Tarantino one seems like it would have been up there.
Oh yeah, no, the World War Z one was a joke because that movie sucked, and Brad Pitt
I was gonna say
shit talking when he was
you
supposed to be promoting it.
You got me, folks. You got me. Hoodwinked me. Jim Schmeitz hoodwinked by old Kev.
But no, there are a ton of others that it does surprise me to find that this was the biggest weekend. But that's what a big international release, 78 different markets, that adds up.
Yeah, that's a big number. Headbug says it was utter shite. I mean, between this and Sinners, it's a good run for original movies this year. But you're right, like it's time. Like it's all fucking sequels. It's all the movies. I mean, to put it in perspective, the movies behind it were How to Train Your Dragon, which is a live action remake of an animated movie, and somewhere in there is the sequel to Megan, that fucking weird horror. Yeah, 3. It's the second one, isn't it? Megan 2.
Oh, Mithrigan 2. Got it.
Love it. Yeah, Mithrigan 2. Yes, Mithrigan 2.0. Yes. Opened to 10.2 million. But then it's like 28 years later, Lilo and Stitch, which is another live action remake of an animated movie.
Wow, at the same time, bold strategy.
So yeah, it's we need more original movies, and you've got coming up this weekend Jurassic World Rebirth, which I've seen not good reviews for. Not.
It's okay. We got the Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom to save us.
Which is, I guess, not a sequel. It's not original, but it's not a sequel.
Yeah.
Which that is funny. So good for Brad Pitt. Speaking of sequels, this one, man, I don't know how I feel about this one. So I'm gonna read it, and I'm gonna let you give me your thoughts on it. At Fuel Fest, Vin Diesel confirmed that Paul Walker's character Brian O'Connor will return for the last movie in the series. Paul Walker obviously passed away in a tragic car accident, and they did a hell of a job of writing his character out of the series and gave him a hell of a send-off. But apparently he's coming back, Kev. I don't know how I feel about this one. It doesn't say in what capacity, anything. But boy, oh boy, seems like they will use AI or something. We talked about it pre-show. They used his brothers to help finish up his scenes in the last movie. But if I remember correctly, it was a lot of shots from behind or the side. They didn't show his face. They have similar body types. But yeah, Kev, what do you think?
It's a great segue from one topic to the next, because this is almost the exact opposite of all that good stuff we were just talking about, right? Didn't we say we need more originality in film? And instead, not only are we getting Fast 12 or whatever the hell it is, but they're going to actively bring back a character that James has confirmed already had a good send-off. I'll be honest with you guys. At that point, I had already exited the Fast and Furious chat movies ago, so I've never seen it, but I trust your take that it was a good send-off. And honestly, regardless of your personal preference to that send-off, it immediately is still just a huge retcon, because whether you thought it was satisfying or not, it sounds like they had wrapped up that character and sent it away. And so now in a series that you already just won't let rest for whatever reason, now you're going to bring back a beloved character who is also unfortunately no longer with us. So if they don't go the recast route, James, and they do some kind of CGI monstrosity, I can't think of a worse send off for a franchise.
I agree. If you're gonna do it, even though I don't think you should, you need to recast it. And I don't know if you use one of his brothers. I don't even know if his brothers act. I just know they helped finish off the last one. But I'm with you. If they do anything AI related or no. Period.
It's gonna be The Rock. He's gonna put a blonde wig on and just play two characters in the movie.
Yeah, the series has already overstayed its welcome, and then you possibly ruin the whole thing by doing something like that.
Yeah, it seems real dumb, to be honest. Like,
why? Just why?
I'll take completely out of ideas for 400, Alex.
Just don't do it. Period. Just don't do it.
Like, at this point, just go make a Tokyo Drift sequel, right? Like, go find that Peyton Manning lookalike from the Friday Night Lights movie that you had in the one Tokyo Drift movie, and like do that. If you're so insistent to not leave this thing alone and to squeeze as much of whatever stale remaining juice is left from this, go elsewhere. Like, you just can't create new characters. I thought the whole thing about this is like all they do is like Transformer superhero shit. You know, they'll ramp a car off the back of a semi truck into a helicopter like they're John McClane or something. So what's it matter? How are they still stuck on the same 9 characters 10 movies in if they are so determined to just roll these things out infinitely? Why?
I don't know. It's for a while there, the Fast and franchise had a really cool story where it went from like they were just race like streetcar movies, and then the whole franchise exploded and had a hell of a comeback. And it was actually really cool, you know, that middle where they had changed the formula. They were making them shitloads of money. Now it's way past. It's overstayed its welcome by a very long time. I'm not sure if I've watched any of the ones after. I watched the one where they sent Paul Walker off at the end, and I don't think I've seen any of them since. I've not even seen Tokyo Drift, which is now like it's in there somewhere. So yeah, but man, if you fucking CGI him in, fuck.
Yeah, it would be
says like, don't fucking
awful.
Do it.
Yeah. What up, Derpy, by the way? And Headbug says in here, I want the prequel where they all learn to drive. I'll do you one better. Let's get the prequel where we find out when they were all in middle school, they were like neighborhood street toughs, and they were running an underground lemonade stand, and they're all just like on Huffy and Mongoose bicycles running around doing crazy stuff.
And like the end of the movie is some famous person driving by in their fucking street car. They rev it up and speed off, and that's how they all fell in love with the chase. Man, we want to be a part of it.
It's The Rock. He's got it in his count. He finally found a way to prove he's more badass than Jason Statham. He's like, hey, if we do a kid's flashback, but I'm already an adult, people be like, holy shit.
I can have hair.
He's like 80 years old going toe to toe with Jason Statham. That's a win for me, brother.
Don't do it. God dang it. Don't fucking do it. Just don't do it. They're going
I want the Fast and Furious meets the Boxcar Children as a 3-movie. Give me a trilogy of the Fast and Furious freshman year. That's what we'll call it.
Oh, God.
None of them have their driver's license yet.
Why'd you give them the name?
But they're still dealing with the awkwardness that is being a teenager in high school. It's perfect.
Oh, fuckity, fuck. I can't wait. Fucking 3 years from now when Fast and Furious freshman year comes out.
And then I'll start getting death threats.
Yep. Yep.
You idiot.
God dang it. I'm moving on. I hate this topic already. Moving on to my next topic, Kev, is a big one. A couple weeks ago, we talked about James Bond being sold to Amazon, the rights to it, and us just shitting all over it, right? Not expecting anything. Well, let's get us off to the side so we can see this.
Ooh.
Denis Villeneuve is directing the next James Bond film at Amazon.
Since I have the French heritage, James, I'm going to help you out on this one. It is actually Denis Villeneuve.
Sure, Dennis.
That's right, Dennis.
Dennis.
I had to do that or I'd get a message from my mother later.
Say that again. Denis Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve.
Villeneuve. Sure. All you need to know is that Dennis, as I'm going to keep calling him, Denis.
Yeah, Dennis is good. I like that better.
Dennis. Oh, head bug. Ooh, the French.
Denis Villeneuve. Can we just, was that what it was?
Villeneuve. That's what I'm calling him. Villeneuve. Like Denis is a critically acclaimed Oscar-nominated filmmaker who has most recently helmed Dune and Dune Part 2 for Warner Brothers and is currently in development on Dune Messiah, which is getting released next year. He also did Blade Runner 2049. Kev, do we have to eat our own words now?
I do.
With old Denis.
I think that I at least have to, because I have completely changed my mind about the whole thing. This makes it even worse. A half Frenchman is making a film about a British spy. And that makes it even better. I didn't even think about that part yet.
She's not happy.
But no, this is one of, I think, the better directors right now, though. So much of it will also depend upon who's going to be that director of cinematography, because he's worked with, and forgive me, I can't think of the name, but the person working on Dune Part 1 and 2 is phenomenal. And a lot of times, not to take anything away from the director, especially not in this case, but director is a role. It's a lot like a head coach on a sports team, James. You get way too much credit for the success, and you get way too much of the blame when it screws up, even though there are hundreds of people involved in this process. So I do want to acknowledge that. Like, some of what makes Dune so phenomenal is the score and the cinematography. We can't just assume that he runs around with the same crew over and over again. So it still may end up being an Amazon cash grab over time. But this gives me a lot more confidence that it will be a cool story that will at least won't be boring. I think it'll look great, and if they let him do what he wants, I actually think there's plenty of good source material to pull from. If you're looking for inspiration on James Bond, that is, another thing when we talk about remakes and all this stuff, something that we don't discuss enough of is the opportunity, like the Battlestar Galacticas of the world, where someone looks at something that failed or was otherwise limited and then says, okay, well, now with today's technology or with my take on the story, this could actually be something that works. This could
Which he
actually
did
be
with
something
what they
that's
did with
good.
Dune.
Right, exactly, with Dune.
They,
So I'd be interested to see even like James Bond stories that maybe we aren't even thinking of because they predate all of those movies that we know. There's probably a lot of options for them to pull from.
The director of cinematography you're thinking of is Greig. I think is Grieg. Would you say Grieg?
Yeah, that one is
Fraser,
weird.
Farser. So he's the Academy Award. He won Best Cinematographer for Dune. And then he was nominated for Dune Part 2. So that's who you are talking about. Yeah, and as you were talking about, Dune was previously thought of as an let's get the correct words here, unfilmable film.
Yeah. Yep.
That you couldn't do Arrakis correctly, that you couldn't make this movie, that it was, I put this in quotations, impossible, because it isn't, and he did it, and it's really fucking good. So yeah, to see him on the list is really exciting, to see what he can do. Because like you said, he'll do something, he can do something different.
Yeah, I think it'd be a great opportunity to just throw a tweak on the James Bond character. And, I don't think I've even watched all of the Daniel Craig Bonds. So there are some that I haven't
I don't know if
seen.
I've seen the last one or two.
I'm not the biggest fan. I really was early in life. Like I loved all the James Bond movies growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Austin Powers coming out and spoofing them for a decade made me appreciate them less subconsciously or what.
Yeah.
But after a while, I just started caring less. But I do think there's other things you could do. Like, I don't know where the great thing about James Bond is you could start at any point. Like, you don't necessarily have to do your same old origin story. But if you wanted to, didn't they do that? I think they did that with Daniel Craig and everything. Like you're starting fresh, so you can start at a different point in time. Will it be before he's technically the 007? Are you going to go that far in time and show him how resourceful is he without all of his extra gadgets and all that good stuff? Or are you just going to drop us right into peak Bond and then slowly peel back the onion and tell us what's going on? I don't know, but I am more on board now than previously, but
yeah, I'm the same way.
Get labeled French bias.
Yeah, I'm quite a bit more on board, and I like this quote here from him. You talk about understanding Bond, and you were talking about possible other stories that we don't know about. His quote here is, "Some of my earliest movie-going memories are connected to 007. I grew up watching James Bond films with my father ever since Dr. No with Sean Connery. I'm a diehard Bond fan. To me, he's sacred territory. I intend to honor the tradition and open the path for many new missions to come." So I was like, awesome. So he understands it, and he understands the weight of it.
That's exactly what you want to hear, especially if you are a super fan of the Bond series. Like if there are folks who Wednesday nights at 9, instead of talking Star Wars every week, talk about James Bond. That's what they want to hear. They want to hear, yes, this is sacred territory. So even though it might not be sacred to us, I love when I hear people doing that when they're taking adaptions. It's, unlike to just pull a random comparison, like how Spike Lee just had no regard for the original Old Boy, and it was just like, it's just a thing. I'm gonna redo it. It's like, nah, man. Like there's certain things and that's apples to grapefruits, because there's not a series of Old Boy movies. But I think when it's your turn to handle a story, a character that you did not create, I think comic book writers deal with this a lot because there's not much new that they get to create. They're writing someone else's superhero into a story that they like. So that to me is the perfect approach to have some reverence for it and to say, hey, I can't just necessarily do whatever I want, or else you might end up as Ryan Johnson, which honestly isn't that bad. You know, give me another Knives Out, I'll take it. Give me as
It's
many of
coming.
those. Just
There
do
is
those
another
forever.
Knives Out coming. Third one is on the way. Those movies are great.
He found his footing.
Yep. Especially after the debacle that was episode 8.
Yeah, see what happens when you can just do a thing, when you can subvert expectations, and they're not expectations that have been built up over 4 decades.
Yeah.
It's a little easier. Water's a little
And
warmer.
you have the backing of the studio. They aren't just going to retcon everything you did immediately in the next movie.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
It's like, well, we see we only pissed off half of you, so
Yep.
let's go ahead and get the rest of them pissed.
Yep. Okay, Kev, I've got a topic that before we jump into watching a few clips, the Fantastic Four trailer, the Project Hail Mary trailer, and the Superman clip, I was reminded as you were talking earlier about something I saw over the weekend, so I had to go look it up. Kev, have you heard of Velvet Sundown?
No, that sounds like something
Okay.
I wouldn't want to search on Urban Dictionary.
Okay. Velvet Sundown is a band that has existed for only 2 weeks and has over 400 monthly listeners on Spotify. It's an AI-generated band. They've released 2 albums, a third coming out in July. It's completely AI.
Oh.
Yeah. From Reddit. I saw this over the weekend and you reminded me about it. Shit, I gotta get off to the side here. It says, behold, a completely fake band on Spotify with 300K monthly listeners. Not a shred of evidence on the internet this band has ever existed. AI generated artist photo and album covers. Description reads like Chat GPT, dashes included. A woman on TikTok said it was the first song on her Discover Weekly. And then it goes on, 100% sure this content is pushed by Spotify itself to further minimize the amount of money they pay artists. This is something. Here is their page on Spotify. Completely AI.
Dust on the Wind. Not even. It's very original.
This is yeah.
Dude, Sacha Baron Cohen may have a case here if he wants to sue these guys for pretending like he's in this band.
I don't know if this is their actual page. I'm clicking on it to see.
Like, is that supposed to be a photo of them actually eating after a show where there's a burger on a plate for no one? One of the 4 of them is eating a burger with no plate, and only one of them got anything to drink. So even if it weren't for the obviously AI color palette of just tan on top of 14 other layers of beige and tan, this it's pretty obviously fake. This, I mean, it's a huge bummer. There parts of this I've come to terms with a long time ago as an independent musician who gets paid a fraction of a penny anytime any of you wonderful people listen to my music on Spotify. I am in a position where I was never doing that for the money. So I don't personally get like heartbroken over it for myself, but it is really painful for those who are much more talented musicians than myself, who put themselves into it and go out on tour and bust their ass and are just trying to earn a living doing the thing that they love. Such a courageous and novel thing to even attempt in today's age. And then to have this shitty AI stuff propped up by, wouldn't you know it, a talentless CEO who has invested in other AI opportunities. This is, I mean, buckle up, gang. This is every news
Yeah.
story you're going to get for the next 10 years is going to be how another rich asshole cut you at your knees and is trying to
Yeah.
replace you with AI so he can have a better bottom line to report to his shareholders before it inevitably crumbles on top of these morons because they're very short-sighted apparently and don't see that it won't be sustainable. At a certain point you would have to have buy-in, and you start squeezing enough people, they're going to push
They're gonna
back. They're
fight
not all
back.
just going to sit there and drool and eat this bullshit
This fucking
content.
slop up.
So it's a bold strategy in some sense, but yeah, this one sucks, James. I hate seeing this done, but I think I would agree with the original poster. I have not been on Spotify for a very long time. They have not gotten a dime from me, which they could basically say the same about me. They haven't given me a dime hardly in the last 7 years or so that I've had music on their platform. But if you needed that sign to go elsewhere, might I be the one? I'm not being paid to do this, but might I suggest just a YouTube Premium subscription, because then you'll no longer get ads on this platform and you'll also have the music app along with it. I, for one, have never regretted upgrading to YouTube Premium. It's one
I
of the
should look into
few.
something else. I use Spotify, and I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, hate to sound like a company man here, but YouTube Premium is one of the few apps that I have never really ever questioned paying for. Once you get those ads out of your life,
Yeah.
you won't be. It's hard to go back to mid-roll, and even though they're skippable ads. So the fact that you get that and music, I think would be the best option. Otherwise, you're really just looking at Apple Music. But Spotify has been one of the most evil, soulless corporations for a long time, which is fitting because that's the plight of the musicians forever. Before Spotify, it was shitty business executives and shady record labels. I mean, people have been leeching off of this group's talent since the dawn of time. Like, as soon as man was able to smack a couple of hollow pieces of wood together and make a sound, those people have been getting boned by people without the same creativity and talent. So I hate to see this, but Spotify will apparently never learn. So they got Joe Rogan and they got AI. What else do they really need?
Right. This picture's great, and the comment on it. Me when my cable is only 4 inches long and my guitar strings aren't even strung into the tuning post. Like, not even in there.
Yeah. That's a great chord he's playing.
Yeah. There is a Velvet Sundown account that said absolutely crazy that so-called journalists keep pushing the lazy, baseless theory that the Velvet Sundown is AI generated with zero evidence. However, that account has 64 followers. Yeah, it's AI.
Boy.
That's an AI. This is sickening stuff, man. This is exactly worst case scenario for stuff we preach against. We preach against AI for creative purposes, and this is why. Because now they're using AI to make music.
Speaking of, I am accepting referrals for a couple of commissions because I would like to pay a real artist to draw Stu for us, and potentially avatars of James, Danny, and myself that I can use in videos for the future. Because now I feel bad. Like, I kind of want to, like, certain things that I previously had given concessions on where I was like, well,
I know.
I'm going to use it in this limited sense. Now I'm kind of like Stu, right? I was like, oh, I'll use an AI to generate an image of our, setup, our automated stream elements system. That seems okay. But now even that, I think I would rather just pay someone to draw something.
It's tough, man. This, like, I agree with you. There are some we've kind of been like, we have to, like, a little Stu in the corner. I'm pretty sure we used it on, but this is big yikes.
Yeah.
They are not. It's not Real. Headbug asks if they're ripping off Velvet Underground. I have no idea. I do not know anything about them, and I'm definitely not going to be listening to it.
It's certainly the name. I feel like it invokes it, that for sure. Looks like a shitty band that Christian dads made to make Bible verses seem cool. Yes. Like where they're like, we have the cool Sunday school. It's not like this ain't your father's Sunday school. We do hip things like play the guitar. We got some Christian rock songs. Hell, we even let the kids drink a Sprite. We don't let no caffeine. Caffeine's the devil's playground, they say, but we'll let them have a little sugar.
Yeesh. Don't fucking do it. Don't support it. This is what's happening. And I don't know how you fight it, man, but this is the worst case scenario. It's movies, it's music, it's ripping off Studio Ghibli like we've seen, and there's got to be laws put in place. Like, this is not fucking okay.
Yeah, that is going to be huge. I mean, that
it's soulless.
Yeah, that takes us outside, I guess, of our current topic base here on this show. But yeah, it's very important. It's a very important time right now, and it seems to be a point of contention among people of multiple political views. So we've got that going for us. Very rarely in this modern climate, especially on our side of the ocean, do I see bipartisan agreement on anything. And when it comes to the concept of allowing AI to go unregulated at a state level for 10 years, we do seem to, while of course not everyone agrees, we are fortunate that there are people on both sides that disagree with it, and hopefully enough to get that rectified, because that will be awful. Like, this is what we're getting now. It will only grow exponentially if there's no oversight. It's incredible that would even be considered.
Yes, they are ripping off Abbey Road in that picture, Headbug points out. Kev, I saw this quote underneath it somewhere over the weekend, and this is pretty incredible. This is a quote from Freddie Mercury, the lead singer of Queen, who has been
my guy,
passed away for a very long time. I don't know when he said this quote. I don't know the exact year of this, which I wish I did. But he says, we are in the golden age of music. There will be a time when technology becomes so advanced that we'll rely on it to make music rather than raw talent, and music will lose its soul.
Oh, you are here.
We've arrived. Freddie Mercury was spot on. My question is, like, what is the point? Like, that's what music and movies and books and TV shows and art is. It's human, like the manifestation of human creativity, right? So now we're just gonna use a machine to do all that. Like, man, it's 1983. Thank you, Headbug. I was trying to find out. It's sick. Wow. Like, we're losing the plot. We're losing the point.
Oh yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I think we have already lost the plot, and that is how we got to be on this railing. Because I mean, that's I believe that at its core, it's about profit. So we don't have to negotiate with AI. So rather than paying humans and allowing them to grow naturally and have their own audience and maybe have an ability to make certain demands, it all becomes one-sided. And then if they can also just produce at a rate that a human can't keep up with, ultimately the goal of all these companies is to cut down a lot of the creatives and turn them into consumers. Now, I'm not saying anyone wakes up in the morning and thinks that to themselves. They might, but probably not. But ultimately, that's the goal, whether they understand it and know it actively or not, is the best way for them to maximize profitability is to have fewer of us creating anything and to have everyone consuming at as often as possible, where we can be fed more ads.
Mindless drones.
And also it helps in a lot of other aspects of your life as well. If you're constantly consuming, you are in sort of like a theta. There's different brain waves you are enacting depending on what it is that you're doing. So if you're constantly fed a never-ending stream of content, it doesn't really challenge you. There's no critical thinking. You're not. It's just sort of turning your brain into pudding while you sit there and then get addicted to it and need more and can't get off of it. So I think the idea behind it all is that it doesn't even necessarily have to be good. It just has to be there, and it has to be able to evoke some kind of emotion, because the way we're currently wired, that will still trump logic very often. So it doesn't have to be good if it can piss you off, or if it can make you sad, or if it can just do anything to keep you engaged. It doesn't have to be high quality anymore. In fact, it can be low quality, and that can be what pisses you off about it, and it might keep you right there. So
there you go. Exactly.
It's very scary. We thought we were getting 1984, but instead, gang, we got a Brave New World. So I would read up if I were you.
Don't support it. Don't be a part of it. Don't be a part of the problem. It's my 10 cents.
And see it for what it is. We did get a little bit of 1984, if I'm being fair. But.
Fuck that. That's all I got on fucking AI. Okay, Kev, I've got 2 movie trailers for us. Well, hopefully my computer can hold up. We'll talk about them. I'm gonna have to talk about them a ton. But would you want to watch? You want the Fantastic Four, the new trailer, or Project Hail Mary, which you know nothing about?
Ooh, you know what, James? In honor of Hail Marys being at the end of games, usually, I think let's go Fantastic Four. It has nothing to do with me hoping to catch another glimpse of that popcorn bucket, though. I want you to purge those dirty thoughts from your mind, freaks.
Oh, good Lord. Here you go, Kev. You'll understand this. We got Unwanted Child of 1984 and Brave New World with Animal Farm thrown in.
Oh, yes. Hey, and maybe get a little Fahrenheit 451 in there too at this rate.
Man. Jesus. Okay, I gotta present video. Wrong button.
No givers. There we go. That's what I want. Yeah, let's avoid one of these dystopias if we can.
Right. Okay, I'm looking for there it is. Fantastic Four, July 25th. There we go. This comes out in July, so a couple weeks from now.
Around the world.
Can't wait.
Please welcome the Fantastic Four. Mr. Fantastic. Invisible Woman. Human Torch.
I love you, Johnny.
And the Thing.
Hey, what time is it? Say the thing.
That's not really something I say.
It's clobbering time.
That's just in the cartoon. Never late for Sunday dinner. Let's eat.
Hey, what time is it?
It's dinner time. Get inside.
I herald his beginning.
Oh.
I herald your end. I herald Galactus.
What is that? Get us out of here, Ben! Hold on! Are we safe?
I don't know.
The clock is ticking.
No, she has her kid during the baby.
We are going to find a solution. We are going to make it right.
You don't want to just crush him?
I like that. The 4 of us will face the danger. We will protect you.
Family. It's about connecting to something bigger than yourself. We'll face it together. As a family.
Fast and the Fantastic Four.
What time is it, Ben?
No.
A nice beard.
What time is it, Ben?
No, Johnny.
Say it!
I don't wanna.
Say it!
Are there any Arrested Development fans out in the audience tonight? Because for the last 6 months that we've been watching these trailers, every time you say, James, Fantastic Four, I hear the little play they did, I believe, at the end of season 4, where they're like, Fantastic 2, Fantastic 3, Fantastic 4. And you got Tobias just like, is there, Daddy needs to get his rocks off. So like and so the fact that they kept singing Fantastic Four in the trailer, all I could hear was like Buster Bluth in his Thing outfit and Tobias Funke doing the practice and all. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Why did they do that? I can't.
Fantastic show. I don't know, boys and girls. Now that you've said that, I'm just like, oh yeah, can't unsee that. I couldn't. Them doing the Fantastic Four in the background reminded me of fucking that stupid Star Wars show from last summer. The power of one, power of two.
Oh,
that did nothing for me.
No.
I'm more intrigued by the aesthetic than anything. It's like
I'll give it that.
Like
the
futuristic 60s vibe. Like that's what like Silver Surfer looks cool.
Yeah,
you know,
I have no problem with her being a lady. There's
a lot of people out there mad about that.
I don't think things like that tend to bother people at times. I don't think it particularly matters. I don't believe the Silver Surfer is human one way or the other.
What?
So I don't.
Jesus, how do you mean?
I don't really care. If anything, it could be funny if Johnny's kind of trying to flirt with her a little bit early on, because I feel like that's what would happen naturally. He'd fly up there, try to spit some game. Probably not. No. Some interesting choices there. Now, they had already spilled the beans on Baby Richards, which, I can't say for certain, that it's going to be the character we all expect it to be. I think everybody is expecting
it, right?
I would think so, but who knows? But what did you think about that? It's one thing they have the previous trailer where they're talking about I'm late, and the thing doesn't get what that means. You're never late for dinner. But to have just multiple scenes with the baby, it just was interesting. It doesn't add anything to the story to me. I think it would have been potentially a cool moment to experience in the theater. Forget Franklin. It was driving me nuts.
Franklin
I couldn't think of
Richards.
the kid's name. Where like, okay, cool. It could be a nice little moment especially if that is something that you enjoy from your superhero films. Who might have take that away from you if you like the cameos of characters like, oh, I know that character. That if that fills out the universe for you, well, too bad. It's in the trailer instead.
I'm not sure. Makes me believe he's really important, which we've talked about, but he's a baby. Like, is he important to this? Because there's also, like you talked about, one of the previous trailers talks about being late and being pregnant, and all of a sudden now we're seeing said baby. So there's quite a time jump in there somewhere, right? Like you got to get them 9 months in, 8-9 months in to that. So that's interesting. It makes me think he's very important.
There's gonna be time jumps. Always fun.
I think in my head, like, their world has to get destroyed because they're not in the correct universe. Something has to happen for them to end up either at Battle World or in MCU proper. And Franklin has some very big parts play. And Headbook points out, like, that was not a newborn baby. I agree with that. I thought that baby looked a year old or so.
True. Kid had more hair than me.
So yes, well, Newborns always do.
I mean, it's
unfortunately, for
easy.
us.
It's a low
Very
bar is
easy.
low.
When the bar is 0. Yeah. It he's important. And I guess we'll see what comes out this month. So.
It answers another question that doesn't do anything to benefit your viewing process, right? So let's say, for instance, like while she's pregnant, they have a fight scene early on. Well, guess what? There are no stakes anymore because we already know the baby gets born. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like little things that it's one thing to tell us that she's pregnant in a trailer. I still, again, don't see how it adds anything to this story that makes it trailer worthy. I think those are the little bits you save. But again, like, you could have still, like, there's at least some suspension of disbelief until you're like, oh, wait, no, the kid's been born. It's a year old. And that gives me concern about, like, how far into the future will they jump in this thing? Not always a great format for an open film.
Headbug asked what powers Franklin has again. You would know better than me.
Well, essentially, I don't even know exactly what the base powers are, but by the end of it, he becomes like the most powerful being in all of the universe. Like, he has the ability to create entire universes. So I don't even know how to, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, well, he's got super strength or he can fly. It's sort of like he's not only a genius, he like has this ability almost like,
do you think he could warp them
Scarlet
to
Witch levels where he can
MCU proper, like as a baby, like they're going to die and all of a sudden he whisks them away?
He goes full Ahsoka Tano and just little baby just puts
Could he
puts
age
his
himself
hand
up
there. Could he age himself up? I mean, theoretically. Well, and he's another one that honestly, if they had put some thought into it and they had wanted to go this direction, they could have turned Franklin Richards into Kang the Conqueror, because it's a very similar trajectory. It's a very similar story of someone growing up in the future where there's advanced technology and using that to really make
reality warper is what the internet
powerful
says.
Yeah, and so he could have gone on to the end of time and sort of seen what Kang did and then have to step in and be the replacement. But it's very similar where, yeah, he's got sort of, it's hard to describe. He can kind of he's a great MacGuffin character, because the one thing no one else can do, Franklin could do that. Oh, you need a pocket dimension created? Oh, well, wouldn't you, dude? Little Frankie can do that. So he's kind of an OP character that I imagine won't be used for much in this film, is just my guess. But if there's another age jump after being a year old, maybe that is how they get out. And if he creates some kind of wormhole or something and moves them over. I think it's what we all like. It's Occam's razor, right? Galactus shows up. They should not be good enough to beat Galactus. Can I say that too? Like, that would be a very bad decision for me. That's like introducing this villain called Kang and saying he's going to be the big bad for the next 10 movies, and then immediately having him getting beat by Ant-Man. Right? Like, that wouldn't be a super smart idea.
And the Wasp.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, my bad. That was on me. But yeah, so I think Galactus has to win. Otherwise, what are we doing here?
Yeah, we've lost. Yeah.
Because then how would you you're going to introduce Fantastic Four and they're just going to be part of the team? Like, they just beat fucking Galactus and the Silver Surfer. And they're just going to be part of the ensemble for the next movie. No, that doesn't work.
No. I think that's what it is, though. I think Franklin, whether he's a kid or a baby, saves them. Mainly, and like, because he has to, like, he doesn't know how to control his powers. They're going to die and they're gone type deal.
Yeah, where it's just instinct. He doesn't even know how he did it yet.
Yep.
Shadow, speaking of great decisions that Marvel making, he says, can we talk about how amazing the strong black woman Ironheart I have not seen
I
it
haven't watched
yet.
any of it, so I really don't have much interest in it.
Shadow, if you've seen it, is it worth watching to even rant about? Like, would it be? We're probably not going to cover it on a Monday live stream, but
Yeah.
is there enough to do a video on it that might be entertaining? I don't, because there's levels to bad. There's at least bad that it's funny.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what
just
I mean?
bad. It's just like this is
Yeah. There's bad, and there's a lot of tangible reasons I could point to and make a lot of arguments for. And then there's like, oh, well, this is just blah. This is boring, which to me is the worst of them all.
Well, this is what he says.
Well, now you got to let me give you my context, though. I knew
Yeah.
I didn't assume it would be worth watching. Genuinely,
No, yeah.
but
Is it worth watching for? Oh, this is funny bad.
yeah, am I going to get to make fun of it for 30 minutes, or am I just burning 3 hours?
Yeah,
the
that's
fire pit?
yeah.
That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So let us know, Shadow. Kev, we're going to jump to a new Superman clip. Then we'll watch Project Hail Mary, and then we'll bounce out of here. I know you are on a little bit of a time crunch here. I'm just going to play this one right off Twitter. It's a 30-second clip.
It is not coming from a woman. Ooh, even Headbug's in there too. Ooh. Make it into a drinking game? Jeez, it's that. Whoo. I mean, why do I sound so surprised, gang? What's wrong with me?
Yep. What up, Polar Knights?
It's great. What up, Polar?
Here we go. We've got new Superman clip that released, just a 40-second one.
Lex, I tried to stop him.
It's fine, Mother. Superman, we finally made. Would you like a coffee?
Where's the dog?
Dog.
The dog, loser! You took the dog!
That's right, you get all of this.
Where's the dog?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
He's just a dog.
I don't know what dog you're talking about. Ugly dog and Kate?
What did you say?
Well, yeah, that's going to be...
Oh, we just got a little quick
Oh, okay.
30-second clip of Lex Luthor stealing his dog.
James Gunn, so hyped on this project. He's determined to show you every bit.
Yeah,
of
it's
the
kind of a
film
weird one to show, right? Isn't
before
that another one you would just
charging you
leave in
money
there?
to watch it. Yeah, like it's a great. If you were worried about getting Jesse Heisenberg 2.0 as your Lex Luthor, maybe you did need this clip to say, okay, I will go watch it. But I don't know. I mean,
they haven't shown him very much, so that's
how many trailers, James, is too many.
There's like 5. We've done enough watching.
Yeah, four trailers ago, I think was a good
Yeah.
spot to stop. But
So you're not worried about crypto? He's been stolen. Superdog's been stolen.
the more they
Just a
show
dog,
me
Kev.
this
It's just
Superman,
a dog, Kev.
yeah, the less on board I am that I'm going to enjoy this character. Like at first, I was all about it. I was like, this is exactly what we need.
You're welcome, Polar Knights.
And yeah, I don't know. It's we'll see. I'll keep a positive outlook going into this, but
Does that come out
at
this
a
month
certain
too?
point, it's like, Mr. Gunn, will you stop? You're getting to a point where I'm less enticed to go see this opening day, because I have a half a mind to think James Gunn is going to leak it to Twitter the day after it releases, because he just can't contain himself.
Oh, it's coming out. Is it July? Yeah, next week.
Oh, so only two more trailers to drop.
Only 2 left. Yeah, it looks like July 10th. So it is next week. Yeah, coming soon, July 11th, next week. Missed opportunity to release this one on July 4th, by the way. Drop it on.
Oh
America,
yeah,
so
but they wouldn't take that risk.
Yeah, you might lose money because people have all kinds of plans on July 4th.
Yep. Then people will go see it the next weekend, and it's like, oh, Superman sucks, box office bomb, because people like fireworks.
I will not spend $1 on fireworks. No thanks. Last bit, Kev, and we got to get you out of here. We're running out of time for you. We've got Project Hail Mary. This is Christopher Miller and Phil Lord's next movie coming out next year. The synopsis, the tweet is 11.9 light years from home, 6th grade science teacher, one chance to save us all. It's starring Ryan Gosling. I have not watched this. I don't know anything about this. So I'm got to remove these comments here.
To our fellow writers in the audience, when they hear people talk about a good elevator pitch, that was one.
That's the only reason. That's the reason I want to watch it.
That's what they're talking about.
Here we go. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller's next movie.
Please state your name.
Ryland Grace. I just woke up from a coma. I'm several light years from my apartment. And I'm not an astronaut. I'm not an astronaut. I'm not an astronaut.
If you don't go, you die. With the rest of us.
The sun is dying.
You are the only scientist who might know what this says.
I'm just a teacher at Grover Cleveland Middle.
You have a doctorate in molecular biology. I need you to come with us. This is Project Hail Mary.
Trying to make Ryan
The sun is
Gosling
not
look like a
the only
nerd or
star
something.
alive. Every star was infected
Yeah.
by its neighbor, except one.
Why?
Which is why we built a ship to go there and find out.
It's 11.9 light years away. The astronauts die in space.
It's what you Americans would call a long shot.
Hail Mary. I get it. Who on earth is going to sign up for this?
If we do nothing, everything on this planet will go extinct.
You'll find a solution.
You are my solution.
I put the knot in astronaut. I've never done anything. I've never done a space. I can't even moonwalk.
I love this, dude. Armageddon
Yeah.
meets the Martian.
I understand the stakes. I do.
Ooh, with a little bit of Breaking Bad. Maybe.
My place is in the classroom.
The world is counting on you.
This might be very hard for you to understand. But some people are not good at things.
You know who you are. You're gonna do great.
I conquered zero G in 5 hours.
Object approaching.
Oh my God. So I met an alien. He's kind of growing on me. At least he's not growing in me, you know, which was a concern for a little while. I'm Grace. I'm gonna call you Rocky. Thumbs up. No, that's thumbs down. You would do the thumbs up. It's close enough.
Well, they had me there in that first half, James.
I'm here for it. I'm fucking here for it. I'm with Headbug. I'm fucking here for it. The alien was a little weird, but I'm fucking here for it. We talk about we need new ideas. I'm fucking here for it.
I agree with you on that. Yeah, and at first the setup, I was like, okay. I mean, it's kind of a mashup of some stories I've heard before, but I'm into
Based
it.
on a book I saw. It's based on a novel, so it's not completely original.
And then I mean, honestly, I'm fine with that. Adapting novels, I think, is a great way to go, especially if nobody's able to come up with original screenplays. So I'll give them that. But yeah, the alien threw me a little bit at the end. I don't know how big of a factor the goofy alien buddy will be, but yes, I am supporting this movie. I likely won't be a day one viewer, but I hope it does well, and I won't speak ill of it. and more good things than bad things in that preview. Like I'd give that preview like I would be like a 7.75 or so. I thought the preview was pretty good.
Yeah, I think it was really good. The alien thing just threw me off. Like I think that lost a couple points for me. He's probably gonna be a little freak. Is correct.
Oh, that's true. So there's a silver lining.
I love the long hair. Trying to make Ryan Reynolds not look cool is fucking virtually impossible.
I think it's a hilarious sort of they've done this in so many movies in the past, like Ready Player One. They had that his love interest where she was ugly in the real world and she had like a birthmark near her eye or something, and it's just like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. Like they used to do the whole ugly duckling thing where they mocked it in Not Another Teen Movie, but where they'd be like, oh yeah, she's the nerd, she's the art, she's not hot. And the way they do that, they'd have her wear like suspenders that are 4 sizes too big and just have a ponytail and glasses or something, and it'd be like, oh yeah, look at that, look at this look at this hideous model / movie star.
Yeah,
I wonder if she'll turn out to be a pretty woman at the end. Like, so it's kind of like the counter to that. So that is, I agree with you. They had to basically cover him in 3 feet of hair to make him look like he's not a fucking superstar movie hero.
What's up, Anthony? Appreciate you stopping by. This is really funny.
Anthony.
So between 25 and 27, Ryan Gosling will be portraying a non-astronaut in the galaxy and a starfighter in Star Wars. Cover all your bases. Call up your bases. I'm here for it. That's my 10 cents on it. Let's get Kev out of here. Kev, where can they find you outside of here, buddy? You are gone this Wednesday. I am taking Han by myself. I'm going to do a review of the Star Wars book, The Glass Abyss. I have finished it, and Kev's going to be gone, so it's perfect time for me to slip it back in there before we get back to our reviews of all the movies. So Kev, outside of there, enjoy your time off, enjoy the Cubs game, all that fun stuff.
Yes, thank you, sir. That is right. So I will be gone starting Wednesday morning. So I got another episode of the Clout Route tomorrow night with Danny at a later start time. We've got a couple of guests joining us, so make sure you check that out, or at least hit us up on the rewatch. This weekend's event, Carnage Fight Series 2. Wouldn't you know it, the Carnage Media YouTube channel is already pumping out those free fights, so you can watch our main event and co-main event, 2 pro MMA bouts. They were incredible. Go and see if you can find the moment where I got covered in someone else's blood, which is starting to become almost like a coin flip as to whether or not that's going to happen to me at one of those shows. So Carnage Media over on YouTube, we are creeping up towards 1K subs over there, just past 700.
Close.
So free fights every day. And of course, like I said, Clout Route, and subscribe to our sister channel, Bite Size Sports. And I think that's it for me right now. What about you, James?
Check us out every Monday here, 6 p.m. Eastern on the Weekly Dweeb, talking about our favorite stories of the week. I'll be live Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, reviewing the Glass Abyss, the Mace Windu novel. Anthony, we appreciate you. Have a great 4th of July, everyone, even our overseas people. Enjoy it. Shade, air conditioner, all that stuff. It is hot here. And then be on the lookout for possible pre-recorded stuff. I told Kev to go enjoy his time away, so hopefully he does not post anything. But yeah, enjoy yourself. Thanks everybody for joining us today. Headbug, Anthony, Polar Knights, Shadow. I think that was Derpy was in there earlier. Appreciate you guys. We are 2 away from 175, so please like, subscribe, and share. Get the word out for us. We're getting close. And that's a happy Free from Britain Day on Friday. Absolutely. Appreciate each and every one of you. Kev, enjoy your time off. We will see you guys next week. I'll see you Wednesday. Kev will see you next week.